Keeping an eye on 2 court cases for you.
Yeah, in just a few hours, the people accused of storing 190 bodies inside their funeral home are set to be arraigned. John and Carrie Halford, own the Return to Nature funeral home in Penrose, and that's where the bodies were found decomposing. They are accused of forging death certificates and sending fake ashes to families. The facility has now been torn down. This morning's arraignment is set for 9 in El Paso County.
Also today, the man accused in the shooting after the Nuggets championship win will be officially charged. 10 people were hurt in the shooting. It happened on June 14th last year near 20th and Market Streets as crowds were breaking up. Police believe this man, Kenneth Blakely, who we showed you a second ago, and another man were shooting at each other. DPD says that likely started because of a fight that broke out during a drug deal. Today's arraignment is scheduled for 8:30 in Denver. New this morning, Denver City Council is considering granting $1 million to help people experiencing homelessness, specifically with mental health and addiction.
Yeah, that's right. 9 News reporter Anusha Roy joins us live in Denver this morning. Anusha, how exactly would this money be used?
Yeah, well, it's the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless that's really hoping to be on the receiving end of this money, especially because they've been watching this growing need for mental health help, but realizing that their staff can't accommodate it. The need is outpacing the staffing that they have. The money would be coming through federal relief dollars that's already been allocated to Denver. It could help hire 2 to 3 specialists, but it would also be used to help improve internet at one of the buildings, not only to help out the staff, but also so that people experiencing homelessness would be able to access more telehealth services. Unfortunately, what's happening right now is that it means people are waiting a day or 2 or a couple of days to see a behavioral health specialist when they needed to see someone right away. And then that is having a domino effect in the surrounding communities.
The wraparound services that we provide to kind of help people be successful in housing are varied, all right? They vary from person to person. But when we're providing what people need on site, then they're less likely to be, going out into the community either in search of these services or in response to not getting these services.
So City Council is expected to make a final decision this coming Monday. I did touch base with the Denver Department of Public Health. They are expecting that funding to come through. If not, the coalition said that they would start looking for other sources of funding, but said that $1 million could ultimately end up helping hundreds of people. Reporting live in Denver, Anusha Roy, 9 News.
All right, we'll see what happens with this funding. Anusha, thank you.
It is now 6:05, and today Hunter Biden's federal gun trial picks back up in Delaware. An employee at a gun store is expected to be back on the stand. His testimony started yesterday, and he said when Hunter filled out a background form, he checked no next to a box asking if he was an addict or used illegal drugs. One of Hunter's exes testified that she saw him doing drugs a month before he bought that gun, but wasn't sure if that was the case by the time that he actually made the purchase.
Donald Trump's Georgia election case is on hold indefinitely. A Georgia Court of Appeals pressed pause. They want to wait until a panel of judges weighs in on whether Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis will be disqualified. That means a trial in this case probably won't happen until after the election. The appeals court isn't expected to rule until March of 2025.
And Trump is moving right along with narrowing down his running mate list. Some of his options have received vetting materials. CNN reports that list includes North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, Senator Marco Rubio, Senator J.D. Vance, Senator Tim Scott, Representative Elise Stefanik, Representative Byron Donalds, and former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Dr. Ben Carson. Trump has said that he could announce his running mate at the Republican National Convention, which starts July 15th.
In Washington, a bill to guarantee access to contraception is not moving forward. Most of the support for the bill had come from Democrats. They've been pushing legislation on reproductive rights since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. And both sides of the aisle actually agreed Americans support the right to contraception. But Republicans call the bill overly broad and also claim that right already exists.
This is something Americans across this nation agree upon. This is a right that is protected in all 50 states.
Senate Republicans showed the American people exactly who they are. They showed that they're not willing to stand up and protect something that 92% of Americans support.
That was Democrat Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. He actually voted against the bill as a procedural move to bring it up again in the future.
New overnight, leaders in Gaza say dozens of people have been killed in an Israeli airstrike on a UN-run school. That building has been housing people who've lost their homes. The Israeli military says it was targeting a Hamas compound operating inside the school. UNICEF now says 90% of children in Gaza are experiencing severe food poverty. The new report says humanitarian aid has been restricted, which is a big contributing factor to that number. Just last week, aid deliveries were paused in Gaza after the pier system constructed by the U.S. military to deliver aid was damaged. The U.S. military says it hopes to repair the pier by the end of this week.
More than 2 months after Baltimore's Key Bridge collapsed, the shipping channel could finally reopen next week. A cargo ship hit the Key Bridge in March. 6 construction workers who were on the bridge at the time died. Crews just removed the final large steel truss that has been blocking the passageway, and the channel is expected to reopen on Monday.
Today, the runway at the Pitkin County Airport in Aspen is set to reopen. This closed last night because of a fire. A sign indicating the runway was unavailable caught fire. It left behind some scorch marks on the pavement. Crews say as long as the repairs are done in time, it should be back open today.
And weather-wise for today, one thing you need to know, it's hot again for today. But other thing that I'm going to tack on there, less wind. Yesterday was quite windy. We had some of those gusts up into the 30-mile-an-hour range. Not today, but still hot with a high near 90.
Chris, thank you so much. We are taking you out now to Sky 9. This is a live look at current conditions on I-25 southbound and 104th Avenue, where we are dealing with a pretty massive scene and a crash out here on the interstate this morning. So this is my first time getting eyes on Sky 9 with all of you here at 6:09. We can see fire crews blocking off several lanes. Looks like the express lane and most of the middle section of the interstate. It looks like one far right lane is open and moving, where we're seeing everyone merge on. Then we've got folks trying to come onto the interstate here as well. So one right lane open and moving if you're going to be traveling this way. We do have emergency crews, police and fire crews this hour. It looks like possibly these vehicles in the middle of the intersection were the ones involved in that crash. Of course, we can see the backups behind it as well. This is already causing a lot of congestion on southbound I-25. So if you're going to be traveling through the North Glen area, this is something you need to be aware of, already causing some headaches early this morning on the interstate.
All right, Erica, thank you. It is now 6:10 on your Thursday morning. We are taking a live look at Normandy, France, as we mark 80 years since D-Day. That was the day the largest group of military forces ever assembled pushed across the western coast of France to fight German troops. It's seen as the beginning of the end of World War II. Overnight, President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden touched down in Normandy to honor the sacrifice so many soldiers made that day. They'll join groups of veterans who landed on Omaha Beach 80 years ago today. And as those veterans remember their friends and sacrifice, they are sharing their stories and memories.
We lost so many men, it's unbelievable. And the young people should know about this.
I'm a hero at all. Those guys that sacrificed their life are the heroes. I'm the result of their being heroes.
About 200 veterans are expected to take part in ceremonies in Normandy today. And Chris, you actually have a personal connection to that day.
Yeah, I actually I went to the beaches there in May of 2017 with my uncle, my dad's half-brother, who he lost his dad on D-Day with the British Army, and that was back in, of course, back 80 years ago today. So obviously quite a personal day for me, and I know for many of you out there that this is quite the personal connection and quite the day for us. And again, thinking about all those and everything going on today.
You spent a week there. It must have been so emotional.
It was, and I was with, again, my uncle. My uncle, to be clear about this, he was a baby. So when his dad passed away, so on the beaches. So I just go to say that when I went with him, it was certainly quite the experience, and it was really an honor for my uncle to take me. It was just me and my uncle spending a week there on the beaches, and again, it's something I'll never forget.
History I hope we all never forget.
Yeah, no doubt about that.